Oh, I got away from a Harley guy. That's dope. On the Mini. Welcome back to another episode, or maybe the first episode. I don't know. I've got a couple recorded. I don't know which one's going first. But in any case, welcome to Moto. Welcome to Mini Moto Mondays. Yeah, Mini Mondays. Yeah, we're gonna roll with that. I don't know if I like the Mini Moto Monday better, or if I like just Mini Monday. I don't know. You guys let me know. Is it going to be triple M or is it going to be double M? Mini Moto Mondays or Mini Mondays? I don't know. Who cares? In any event, this will be an ideally weekly video on Monday on the Mini. Whether it's about the Mini or we're just on the Mini exploring. But today we're actually doing both. We're going to be exploring on the Mini and we're going to be talking about the Mini. Is more minier more better? Is miniature more better? In regards to building a stunt bike and, you know, the things that come with that, yeah, absolutely. Makes everything a lot easier, a lot more manageable. Doing, you know, slow speed type stunts, wheelies, stoppies, whatever. Compared to a bigger bike, it's a lot less intimidating. And the chance of getting hurt really bad, I feel, is minimized. But as far as a beginner bike, I would say probably not a great beginner bike. It's going to teach you a lot of bad habits, and by that I mean, you know, if you're just learning how to ride a motorcycle, a lot of your muscle memory is going to imprint on this bike, right? And what I mean by that is, you know, you're going to get used to being able to just crank wide open throttle whenever you want and nothing really happened. You know, if I did that on my 701 in 4th gear, we would be going crazy. I mean, we'd be doing all this number going all over the place. And you could throw yourself off the bike doing stupid stuff like that. You know, you got to be really deliberate with your throttle input, braking, and clutch input, right? And same thing with the clutch. There's not really a friction zone. The whole thing is just dead. It's just, you know, it lets out somewhere out here. Watch, we'll pull really slow and watch the RPMs and listen. See, it was just, I mean, just barely getting the pressure on it. And but then once you've pulled it in and you're trying to find the engagement and you start letting out, it's, I don't know, it's right at the end. It's really weird. But it's good too, because if you're doing like a dual lever setup like this with the brake, the stunt brake for the rear, being able to get both fingers, get a good purchase with both fingers is really important. You know, maintain that clutch control and cover that brake. But yeah, I mean, and God, you're gonna hit your knees with the bars, especially if you're taller than me on the Z125. If you're taller than like 5'10", you need to get the Grom. If you do want a Mini, which I think everybody needs a Mini, they're freaking awesome. I've got a $12,000 Euro bike in the garage, and I'm riding this right now. My Husky has a dead battery, but whatever. I can bump it, it's just a pain. But anyway, yeah, it's fun. I mean, miles per gallon, killer. And even the miles per gallon, killer. It's just crazy, you know, all the fun you can have with just no power. I mean, 7.5 peak horsepower, I believe. So yeah, or maybe that was torque. It was like 7.5 foot-pounds torque peak at like 5,000 RPM. So not bad. I mean, you're making the torque right there, so pretty good for wheelies. I've noticed when I am good in the balance point and I'm comfortable, I'm just sitting right here between 5,000 and 6,000. So that's really where the torque is. It makes it easiest to save it if it starts to dip down, you know. Yeah, I mean, from the perspective of a starter bike, kind of crappy. And you're not going to get any respect on this thing. You know, getting into being a motorcyclist is a really cool thing, and you feel like such a cool, you know, the big cool guy pulling up on your nice motorcycle. And when it's this small, you don't really look that cool. And you know, people just don't understand it. They don't know what it is. They don't get the appeal, you know, whatever it may be. And you know, nobody thinks you're harnessing the power of I don't know, I was making an analogy that doesn't make any sense, but you know, you're not really doing anything special by riding around on this thing. You're not exhibiting some great skill like you would be, you know, riding a leader bike or something like that. Riding it well, obviously. I'm gonna close this, it's bright out here. But yeah, just not great. The size of it, you know, not only because of looks, but and see, look, bad habits, full throttle, full throttle, full throttle, full throttle. If you think every bike is gonna be like that, or you know, if that's just what your brain is used to, you're gonna be having a bad time when you get on a bike that'll actually do something. You know, I mean, you have to really try to make these things wheelie. They're not good bikes to wheelie because they wheelie easily. It's because it is easy to wheelie them and control the wheelie. Does that make sense? It's not, this bike will not power wheelie. No matter how hard you try, this bike will not power wheelie. You have to abuse the clutch to get this thing to bring the front end up, and you got to be going pretty slow, or you got to, you know, use your leverage and bounce up on the cage or something. So yeah, and I mean, this thing is so squirrely. I mean, this is ridiculous, you know, and even little wobbles like that will get you in a bad way. You know, a bigger bike is going to mitigate a slide a lot better than that. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be back here or not. I don't even know where I'm at. But, yeah, just going to teach you a lot of bad habits. Not going to be very safe. Okay, speed limit is 5 back here. I'm going to assume I shouldn't be back here. Oh, we drifted until we hit the asphalt and it grabbed. Oh man, but yeah, it's fun to just tool around on this because, you know, you're not worried about hurting anything, and even if you did, you know, hurt the bike, everything on this thing is ridiculously cheap. So yeah, you know, definitely put some pro tapers on it. Even if you are just, if this is your only bike and you're not even going to stunt it, 1, the pro tapers look cool. 2, they get you in a much more aggressive position to have a handle on the bike. You know, you notice, you see somebody riding with the factory handlebars and they're more like this. There's a lot more back sweep on the handlebar and it's up a lot higher. These bringing it down a little bit and having a little bit less back sweep is actually putting you in a better position the way you would be on a motocross bike to really get a handle on this thing and whip it around. But yeah, more minier, not more better for a starter bike. While it may look very unintimidating because it's small and has a low seat height, it's very twitchy, it's very squirrely. You know, it would be very easy. You know, I've seen people, you know, break their collarbones and shoulders and stuff because the thing is, you know, if you're leaning and you lose traction, you're already so close to the ground, you don't really have time to react. I can't remember the video, but the guy's just coming out of his driveway or something, and he hits a little bit of sand or whatever. I don't know if he just dipped the bike too low or what, and it just slams him right down onto his shoulder. And I was like, holy crap, you just couldn't see that coming. You know, being on such a small bike, you don't expect something crazy like that to just happen. But with it being so small and so twitchy, chassis is very stiff. A chassis that has a little bit of flex is going to absorb bad vibrations. Like on my 701, if I'm on the interstate and I catch a speed wobble, it just balances itself out. It's no big deal. If this thing could go that fast and it caught a speed wobble, you would die instantly. I mean, it just, I mean, even just twitching the bars doing, you know, 45, 50, which is about all this thing will do, 50, 55, especially with these crappy dirt tires on here and with no air in the back the way I run it, because it's really just for wheelies, makes everything super sketchy. So, you know, having my rear tire inflated properly would help a lot, but I don't really care about that. I'll deal with the sketchy every now and again. Screaming and missing second. If you didn't already look stupid, you do now, buddy. I don't know what the heck that thing was. Kind of crazy. everybody gives you such crazy looks and you get out of the fast lane now. Even though I am doing the speed limit, almost. We're 1 mile an hour away. There we go, we're doing 50 now. Yeah, buddy. We're cooking. We're cooking now. This is about all she does. This is about it. With about 175 pounds of me on it, with a flat rear tire and dirt tires. That's about all she does. I did get it to do like 67 when it was stock, when it was brand new. And don't forget all the weight of the sub cage and the rear sets and the frame sliders. All that stuff's just solid steel, so adds quite a bit of weight. But yeah, I guess the point of this video is to let you guys know that these things are great. This and the Grom, both fantastic, awesome, super fun little bikes, but not a great first bike. This is something you buy to keep yourself out of trouble on your big bike. You get the, I mean, like, this feels hot boy right now. This feels so hot boy. And I mean, I am speeding, but you know, even back there where the speed limit's 50, that just, it feels so hot boy because it's so twitchy and so sketchy. I mean, look at that. I mean, I just barely did anything and it just keeps going. It just feels super hot boy, and you're pinned out and it won't go any faster, so you're like, oh my god. It just kind of gives you that visceral top speed feeling without really going that fast, you know what I mean? Obviously, actually going fast is a lot more invigorating, but I'd like to think that I'm over that. I'm over doing top speed stuff, and obviously I'm not talking about my 701. That's kind of why I bought the 701, because it has so much torque and so much power, but it only does about 130, so that's really all I need. I mean, if you're doing over 130 on a regular basis, tell your parents you love them. It's just not a good thing. Very few things need to go wrong. Only one little thing needs to go wrong, and you could die very easily. And yeah, you could say that about getting on a motorcycle every time, but you're significantly increasing your risk factor when you're doing, you know, triple digits. Not even triple digits. 100's really not that bad in the scheme of a motorcycle, and how much control you have over it if you know how to control the bike when you're going that speed. But you know, doing 150, a lot of stuff changes at 150. So you know, you might think you got plenty of time to dodge that car, and you didn't even have half the time you thought you did, and smack right into it. Or, you know, whatever it may be, just some idiot merging over on you or whatever. You know, you just never know. And I'm not trying to turn this into a safety lecture here about going fast, because I like going fast just like everybody else does, but I just try to not put myself on bikes that will go that fast. Because it will happen. No matter how frequent it is or infrequent it is, it will happen. So better we just don't do that. But yeah, guys, more mini or more better, I don't know, you decide. For what I use it for, yeah, absolutely. If you're looking at a first bike, maybe look into like a 300, 400cc sport bike or naked bike, something like that. Gonna do you a lot more justice as a usable bike than this will. So you know, and it's just a little bit more money too. You know, you get an MT-03, 45, 46.99, brand new. You get a Ninja 400 or Z400, 49.99, brand new. So it's like, you know, 31.99. You know, obviously we're adding tax title on anything new, but it's just, or anything you buy really, but it's not that much more money. $1,500, $1,600, whatever, to get a full-size bike. So it's not a, oh, I can only afford a $3,000 bike. That's BS. That's not true. That is not in any way, shape, or form true. Anybody can save up a little bit of money for a down payment, finance something, a couple bucks a month, no big deal. And a lot of times they run finance promos on the minis that make it super, super easy to slide into one without really having to drop that much cash. So anybody can get one of these. It's really not that hard. And anybody can get most bikes, really. I mean, unless you've just destroyed your credit score and you really do have zero money saved up, most people can get into a bike. So don't box yourself in and trap yourself into thinking, oh, you can only afford this much bike. So yeah, get yourself a mini. Don't get it first, but get yourself a mini. Peace, guys.